You won't believe what killed Kenya's most powerful political kingmaker, a former cabinet minister thrown from his vehicle in a devastating crash. His body revealing injuries so catastrophic that pathologists call them unsurvivable. But here is what nobody is talking about. The route he took that night makes absolutely no sense. But wait until you hear what they found inside the mangled Mercedes. This is a story of power, mystery, and a death that has left an entire nation demanding for answers. It was December 13th of 2025, 3 o'clock in the morning. The Nairobi-Nakuru highway, shrouded in darkness, a white Mercedes-Benz traveling at high speed, then impact. The sound of metal crashing, glass shattering, a collision so violent it would throw a man several meters through the air. When dawn broke over Karai in Naivasha, investigators found something that will shake Kenya to its core. The body of Cyrus Jirongo, one of the most influential politicians in Kenya's history, lying motionless on the cold asphalt. But that is not all. Wait until you see what the autopsy revealed. On Wednesday, December 17th, 2025, at Lee Funeral Home, that is in Nairobi, the media gathers, the family waits, the nation holds its breath. 3 pathologists prepare to examine the body of Cyrus Jirongo and reveal the medical truth behind his death. This is not a standard autopsy. The family has insisted on maximum transparency. 3 pathologists are involved. Government pathologist Dr. Johansen Odwor, representing the state, a family-appointed pathologist, Dr. Joseph Ndumu, and a third pathologist representing Jirongo's clan. This multi-party arrangement is designed to ensure that the findings are credible, transparent, and beyond dispute. The examination begins. What they find inside Cyrus Jirongo's body is absolutely devastating. Dr. Joseph Ndumu, the family's pathologist, addresses the media. His voice is measured, professional, but the words he speaks paint a picture of a catastrophic trauma. Let me walk you through the injuries one by one, and I want you to understand just how severe this was. First, the extremities. Multiple fractures, 2 fractures in the right hand, both lower limbs, the legs fractured, injuries to the lower lip, and this is a man who took an impact so severe that bones throughout his body shattered. But that is just the beginning. That is just the peripheral damage. Now we move to the chest. Dr. Ndumu describes what he calls crash injury to the chest, multiple rib fractures, not just one rib, but multiple ribs broken. The force required to fracture multiple ribs simultaneously is enormous, and we are talking about a collision so violent that the human rib cage, designed by nature to protect our most vital organs, was completely overwhelmed. And here is where it gets even more horrific: perforation of the heart. The heart itself was perforated, ruptured. The autopsy reveals a rupture of most of major vessels that connect the heart: the aorta, the vena cava, the pulmonary arteries. These massive blood vessels that carry life itself ruptured. Dr. Ndumu explains, the bleeding was so massive and that there was bleeding into the chest cavity. The space around the lungs was filled with blood. The pathologist documents extensive chest injuries that extend far beyond what most accident victims suffer. But wait, there is more. The trauma extends into the abdomen. The autopsy reveals crash injuries going into the abdomen with liver damage. The liver, one of our largest and most resilient organs, damaged by the sheer force of the impact. And then the most devastating finding of all, transection of the spinal cord at the thoracic level. Transection, that means the spinal cord was completely severed, cut through the thoracic spine, the mid-back region that controls so many vital functions, completely severed. Do you understand what that means? Even if by some miracle Jirongo had survived the heart perforation, the rib fractures, the massive internal bleedings, the severed spinal cord alone would have been catastrophic. Instant paralysis from the chest downwards, loss of control of respiratory muscles, and this wasn't just an injury. This was an injury incompatible with life. Dr. Ndumu concludes his findings with a statement that echoes through the silent room. As a result of our examination, we found an opinion that Jirongo died as a result of a crash injury to the chest, the abdomen, and also the spinal cord injuries due to blunt force trauma. Government pathologist Dr. Johansen Oduor confirms the findings. He tells the media that Jirongo sustained extensive injuries involving the chest and abdomen, which were determined to be the primary cause of death. The injuries were caused by a blunt force and trauma. All three pathologists agree the injuries were unsurvivable, not difficult to survive, but absolutely and completely 100% unsurvivable. From the moment of impact, Cyrus Jirongo's fate was sealed. But here is what makes this even more chilling. The pathologists note that Jirongo was thrown several meters from the vehicle. That level of ejection force, combined with the internal injuries, suggests a collision of extraordinary violence. The Mercedes-Benz he was driving didn't just crash, it was obliterated. The autopsy report is released, and the medical facts are now established beyond doubt. Cyrus Jirongo died from severe crash injuries to the chest, abdomen, and to the spine, caused by blunt force trauma sustained in the December 13th road crash in Naivasha. Multiple rib fractures, check. Perforated heart, check. Extensive chest injuries, check. Massive internal bleeding, check. And the liver damage, check. The family receives the news and their worst fears are confirmed. This was not a minor accident. This was not a fender bender gone wrong. This was a catastrophic collision that destroyed a human body from the inside out. The autopsy is done, but the mystery isn't over. The investigation continues. What did the police say? What about the bus driver? And most importantly, will the family ever get the answers that they are demanding about that mysterious route to Naivasha? Stay with me for the conclusion because it gets only interesting from here. Police investigation into the crash continue. The bus driver, 52 years old Tyrus Kamau Gidinji, was initially taken into custody but has since been released on cash bail. He maintains that the collision was unavoidable, that Jirongo's vehicle crossed into his lane, and that any attempts to swerve would have potentially killed many of his 65 passengers. Detectives are reviewing CCTV footage from along the highway. They are taking witness statements and they are conducting forensic examinations of both vehicles. The wreckage of Jirongo's Mercedes-Benz and the Climax bus remains at Naivasha police station, being examined by accident reconstruction experts. But here is what is really interesting. Despite all this investigation, despite all the CCTV cameras supposedly tracking Jirongo's movement, the police have not yet provided a comprehensive account of his journey that night. Where exactly did he go in Naivasha? Who else did he meet? And why did he take the specific route he took? These questions remain unanswered. The family has announced funeral arrangements. The body will be transferred from Lee Funeral Home to Jirongo's Gigiri home on December 27th, where it will spend the night. On December 28th, the cottage will travel to Kitale and stay overnight at his second wife's home. And on December 29th, it will proceed to Lumakanda in Lugari. And on December 30th, 2025, Cyrus Jirongo will be laid to rest at his Lumakanda home in Lugari, next to his parents' graves. So there you have it. An autopsy conducted by 3 pathologists on December 17th revealed the horrific extent of his injuries: multiple rib fractures, perforated heart and a ruptured major vessel, extensive chest injuries, massive internal bleeding extended into the abdomen, liver damage and complete transection of the spinal cord. At the thoracic level, the injuries were caused by blunt force trauma and were deemed completely unsurvivable. The family led by Fred Gumo and George Kaniri has raised serious questions about the circumstances of his death. They want to know why Jirongo was in Naivasha when he should have been home in Gigiri earlier. They want police to examine CCTV footages and reconstruct his movements. They have suggested that not all the facts have been revealed. Independent accident investigators hired by Jirongo's friends have reportedly found inconsistencies with the official police report. The investigation continues. Toxicology results have not been revealed yet. Vehicle inspection reports remain unavailable. What really happened that night? Was this truly a tragic road accident? A tired driver who lost concentration on a dark highway? Or is there more to the story? Hidden details that have yet to emerge. What do you think really happened that night? Do you believe that this was just a tragic accident, or do you think there is more to the story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this investigation compelling, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an update on this developing story. Remember, the truth matters, justice matters, and the family of Cyrus Jirongo deserves answers. Thank you for watching. Let's catch up on my next celebrity drama files as you get to know what is happening around the 254.